Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, that wild turkey Bowie arrived the same day as this. Here's the wild turkey. It arrived the same day as this Ontario. This one I ordered myself. My advertising money and stuff like that, the Google AdSense account and all that, finally came through. A word about that, because I know Pete, Jersey Knife Guy, put up a video where he just set his channel up for monetization and everything, and that's a good thing to do, because even if you don't set it up for monetization, they're going to run ads on your channel anyway. So you're a content creator, you might as well get something out of the money they're making off of you. So I say monetize when you've got the chance. Now, in the monetization part, they say they'll email you. Like first it says you don't have enough money in your account. They're only going to pay you when your account reaches $100 or more. And you won't have that at first when you monetize. You're not going to have anywhere close to $100. And so it'll still say, as far as monetization goes, if you click on your channel where it has that little dollar sign, you go down there to monetization, it'll still say up in a corner on there, action required, still pending. And that's where they say they'll email you when it's ready to set up, but I never got an email. So anyway, I finally checked it, and it said they need to set up a bank account that they're gonna get paid to. So they need the routing number and the account number, and then what they'll do is they'll deposit a certain amount of money, under $1, into your account, and then when you get that balance deposited, then you contact them through a link and you tell them how much money was deposited. So they're basically verifying that it's you and it's your account and everything. And then once that's done, they set up their payments to, it's like mine's between the 21st and 27th of the month or something like that. I guess it depends on your account or whatever. But that's where I was able to get the money for this knife. So, and sorry for going off on the tangent there, but I just wanted to help out. Explain to Pete basically how that works on monetization, because right after that, like it was on the 20th or something when I figured this out, and on like the 21st or 22nd, what's today, 23rd, I think it was on the 21st, it finally was all set up. The money, I got a notification that the money had been deposited to my account. So with that, I went to Amazon, because Amazon has one-day delivery on stuff, and this was about $64, which I also checked with Midway and a couple other places, and that's about what these things go for. Now, they say this is $10.95 carbon steel on Amazon, and so did Midway, but I've heard that they've gone to $10.75. That is not something that I can check right here. I don't have a way of checking the difference between $10.75 and $10.95 steel, there might be a way, if you're really educated, if you're grinding, you can check the color of the sparks coming off there, but I don't know. I'm not going to grind that much on this one. All I would like to say is what I was seeking in this knife was basically what Toby was looking for in this knife, and that is something that you can use and knock around, something in between the case and the Sezco. All right. So my recommendations as far as Bowie knives go, before we get all into this SP10, is if you just want a beater knife and a knock around knife and stuff, and something that looks like a Western 49 or uh, you know, a kind of carbon steel looking iconic knife and everything, then go with one of these. If you want something that approximates the feel and balance kind of like of the case, go for this like Wild Turkey. It's like $25, you know. But you're going to get mild steel. I mean, soft steel. It basically hasn't been heat treated, you know. So you've got to keep that in mind. But if you want something functional, which is what I was looking for in this, this is Ontario Knife Company, made in USA, Raider Bowie knife. All right, so that's kind of like fashioned after the Marine Raider, which is kind of like what the case knife, you know, was fashioned after or going after. Crossguard is different. This thing is a beast, and it feels good. Now it's got the rubber craton handle. Now before we get into the knife, let's talk about the sheath, because a lot of people complain about the sheath I see and everything. But I find a lot of good things in it, you know. It's got a, as far as like Cordura type sheaths and stuff goes, this is not bad. It fits in there, it doesn't rattle. It's got that stiffener in it and everything. You've got a lash down loop. They give you a little short piece of like shoestring to go here for the lanyard hole, but I'm not going to use a lanyard on it. 1898, you know, it's from the Ontario Knife Company. Like I said, ooh, I gotta watch it with these boxes, so Terry's gonna get knocked over. But that's the model number. Ontario Knife Company, SP10, Spec Plus, Marine Raider, fixed 9.75-inch blade, Craton. Craton is that rubbery kind of stuff. And here's another thing on this. All right, you know, so you look at this and you go, oh, well, you know, the strap is over there in the way of the cutting path. You know what? They made this with a flexible material. So when it snaps, it does not get in the way. That's pretty smart. That's pretty innovative, you know. Another thing up here is this attachment right here is adjustable. I'll get this where you can see it. It's got a little Velcro and buckle thing there, so you can make this loose or as tight as you want, you know. And it's really hard to get this in. I wish this camera had a wide angle on it, you know. They eliminated on this particular model of Samsung, and I miss it because this is where you need a wide angle, you know, when you're doing Bowie knives. But it also has some eyelets back here that you can lash, and then a molly attachment set up here, so you could set this up on a molly pack. Right? Now the sheath is made in China, but got a fairly wide belt loop, you know, attachment back here. And the thing about these similar type of knives and stuff is, if you don't want to go with that particular sheath, you can hijack one of the other ones if it fits, you know. So like with the case, if I wanted to put it in the, since they are very similar in width and everything else, it goes in there, but this has got a thicker spine. We'll measure it. It's got a thicker spine, so you get a friction fit, and it doesn't go all the way down. You're not really going to need that strap, you know, because it's not going to come out unless something grabs and pulls on it. So you just match it up to whatever sheath you want to use. I tried it in the in this guy, the little El Cheapo one. Bang, bang. Oh my God, he banged it around. See, it fits a little bit better in this one. It'll even snap down if you want it to. And it won't, it'll shake out a little bit more, but think about it, man. For that to happen, you've got to have been upside down. I I'm sorry, you know. When you've got a long blade like this, a 9 and I think it's like 9 3/4 inch blade. We'll measure that. This thing's not just gonna, you gotta be upside down, you know. And if you're upside down, I think you've got more to worry about than your knife falling out of your sheath just from gravity. It's like, you better watch out for gravity. It almost, you know, like, gotta push it down. All right, now let's go back to this other sheath. One thing that it looks like, you know, you say, all right, well, this thing's pivotable, and you could just pivot to that side and lash it down over there. Well, no. I don't know why, but it doesn't mate up. There's no adjustment on the strap, you know, to make it longer, but it's just basically set up to go this way. And like I said, the only reason why you would want to move it over there is to avoid this from getting cut on the way out. But it's a flexible material, like it gets out of the way as soon as you pull it. It's not going to get cut. All right, so let's set the sheath over here, and let's put the case back in its sheath. Really, barefoot around here, I have dropped Bowie knives on my bare feet before, and even if it's in the sheath and stuff, it's gonna hurt. A big knife, you know, like 1.5 pounds, gravity helping it along the way. Oh, sorry, there's bouncy stuff going on. This knife is actually heavier than that one. Not by much. I think this one's like 1.5 pounds, and this one's like 1.4 or something. I'll put the pictures in towards the last. It's just slightly less heavy. All of them are, I got all these. They're all balanced up here. Buoys, one on top of another. All right, glow-in-the-dark tape, get back over there. All right, let's check the spine here. I've got this tray out because underneath I was going to do a thing on Barlow's. I got a bunch of Barlow's down there. I was going to revisit Barlow's, but we're talking Bowies right now. All right, so we'll zero this out. I think it's 1/4 inch almost. Yeah, 0.28. 0.26. Yeah. Let's go millimoids. 7mm. So you got a beast, you know. You've got a really thick spine here, but it goes down to this secondary bevel about halfway down the blades and starts thinning out, and then it goes down to this primary edge. And this edge looks good from the factory. Now, before I got this knife, I was looking at, you know, as many video reviews and stuff as I could. It's light. Touchscreen light, come on. Turned it off again. Oh, bring it up. There we go. I was watching as many video reviews as I can, and there's this guy that does test knives to destruction. And he literally, you know, will test any knife and just destroy it. So if you've got a weak stomach, don't watch those things. He does things in knives that you wouldn't normally do, but, you know, like I said, he's testing it to destruction. He finally broke the tip off on this one by going into a log and going back and forth. You know how you break metal? Is wiggle back and forth, you know, to do it. But he finally got it to break, but it took him a while. So I'm not going to do that to this knife. I'm not going to beat the hell out of it, but it's good to know that it can be done. So, you know, I appreciate people that do videos like that. I'll try to see if, I've never done a clip before, but I'll try to put a little clip of him work on a knife and link his video there to his channel, so you can check him out if you like that type of stuff. But yeah, this one feels really good in hand. The ridges right here help for grabbing, and the craton is like rubbery, you know, so you know it's gonna do well. You can do a choke up here and not worry about getting cut by anything. A nice deep sharpening choil. This powder coat finish up here is going to make it pretty rough for me to Rockwell check it, but they listed it as 58. All right, so I'm just going to go right up here on the edge. I don't know how good it is because you can't really test on a coating. It's not going to give you an accurate Rockwell hardness. But if it's above, if it's between 50 and 55, this shouldn't grab on this. It is sliding. That sound that you hear is the teeth getting the nubs of, on this. Yeah, sorry I don't have a huge area, but I'm getting a slide right here on the edge, which is exposed metal. It's not scratching. I know you're not supposed to go back and forth with that, but it's not scratching that edge. So it's above 55. So right there, you've got at least a heat-treated carbon steel blade that's got that powder coat on it. That'll probably help with corrosion resistance, a little bit. But just keep in mind that it is a carbon steel blade, so after use, if this coating starts coming off, even before then, it wouldn't hurt. But this is a dry coating. It wouldn't hurt to keep some oil on it. The tip is done fairly well. Oh, that's one of the things I forgot to show on that wild turkey is they didn't quite finish. See how it blunted out? That can be fixed with a hand file and everything, but this was just done in the finishing. So yeah, I look at the knives from tip to edge to top and everything. My intention is not, to go through and do a whole bunch of chopping tests and all that stuff with these. It's just to give you an idea of what it feels in hand and how it compares to other knives. Nice swedge up here. This tip is done really well. I mean, all the bevels on this are nice and clean. I'll do a quick cut your arm off test. It's not hair shaving sharp. It's got a rough edge on it, but it'll cut through paper. Yeah, this is going to be a great. This is one of those where, yeah, it looks more tactical. I think this is one of the places where I think that Ontario could really, even if you up the price from $64 to maybe $100, if you change this to leather stacked and got rid of the black coating on this and just left it carbon steel, just let everybody know, hey, it's carbon steel, and make it look a little bit more traditional, that would be a nice option. But anyway, yeah, this is a nice knife. This is a heavy, sturdy feeling knife. Not too heavy. It's still going to be blade heavy. This one's a little bit more forward. It's right about here on your center of gravity on this balance point. This is flat to give you a little indexing and everything. Swells out a little bit. Nice lined brass tube here, instead of just drilling it through. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with these. So this one is all right, $64, and the Pakistani ones with unknown steels and unknown steel hardness, they're still fun. I'm not completely knocking them down. It's just that you just want to be aware when someone is supplying you with a knife that should have been heat treated and it's not. It's a cost-saving measure that shouldn't be done on knives, I think, you know. The whole purpose of a knife is to have some heat treatment above the regular steel. You don't want to just take regular carbon steel and throw it out there and not heat treat it, because heat treatment, carbon is, if it's got a high carbon content, heat treatment will help. But if it's a low carbon, you can still heat treat it. It's just not, it's going to have to be cold work, cold hardened type steel. And you're losing some of the properties, some good properties. There's a reason for heat treatment, you know, and when it skips out on a knife, you've got what appears to be a good knife until you go to use it. Now, if you're just using it for chopping down trees and all this other stuff, you're probably not going to notice the difference between a heat-treated steel and an unheat-treated steel. Maybe you will, but just carry a sharpening stone with you, you know, a lot, because you're going to have to touch up that edge. It's going to roll. Whereas something like this is going to be able to take a lot of chopping and everything, and it's not going to roll. I watched Joe X. He was hitting a metal tube, going tang, 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 tang. I'm telling you, it's things you don't want to do with a knife, but he does it, you know, to destroy it. So I don't know. It's a long video, I know, because I explained stuff about setting up monetization and stuff that didn't have really anything to do with the knife. So for those of you that stayed to the end, thank you for watching. I think this is a great choice. Like you could have a beater knife and this knife for less than the price of a case. But if you're collecting and everything, I would recommend the case, because that's the one that's going to have the most collector's value. That's the one that's going to be able, if you don't like it, you're going to be able to resell it easily. It's going to go up in value. The Pakistani ones are never going to go up in value. I don't think. You know, I might be wrong about that, but most of those are just going to go for what they went for, you know. So you've got that, you've got the name brand and everything else about it, and it's made in America. But here is also another made in America. You're paying a little bit more, you know, but you're going to get more. You're going to get some known steel, quality steel, a really tough, you know, knife. I've seen a lot of people have had these for decades and beat the hell out of them and love them. So just consider that if you're considering Bowie knives and everything. Yeah, it doesn't look as much as a traditional. It's more tactical and everything else, but you're still, what you're getting is a Bowie knife blade shape and everything. You still have that functional, you know, hawkbill type of handle. This is a good choice. I mean, you know, it's up to you how you want to spend your money, you know. Yeah, you could get 10 of these for the price of one case. So I mean, it's all on how. Oh, see, the hand is going after this knife. The hand likes it. It wants to touch it. Ooh, I like the coating. The coating is very nice. All right, sorry. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.